It's time for another wrestling podcast.
All right. Are you fucking kidding me?
Guys, I got blocked again on Twitter.
I'm your mark of marks.
That's the most reliable source on the interwebs.
The social assassin at your disposal, bitches.
Guys, did you know today it came in the mail?
What's that?
There we go. I was waiting for the easy setup line. We got the Broadcast Brand of the Year 2 times in a row, guys.
Did we repeat, Credo? We repeated?
We repeated. We're next year we can make it a three-peat or whatever. What they used to say at the Chicago Bulls.
That's right. We're gonna three-peat. We're gonna three-peat. We gotta get a belt for all three of us.
Guys, man. So Audio Wrestling Facebook group that we're a part of. The Wrestling Radio Awards, which are happening. The voting has ended, so the show is going to be happening any day right now. And Mike, I know you're excited for the Cammy Awards following the show, but
Yeah, baby.
2 years in a row, guys. Social Media Crowns, Broadcast Brand of the Year. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts, guys. If you'll see, we'll post the belt pictures on social media, anotherwrestlingpodcast.com. Like us, follow us, subscribe. You'll find all that stuff on the website. So 2 times for 2-time Broadcast Brand champions. First ever 2-time. I don't know what else we can add to it, but first ever 2-time brand champions. Guys, how do you feel about that?
I know what we can add to it.
3-time.
Ooh.
Yes.
This year. 3
Because ain't nobody fucking with us.
Oh my goodness. Cooter, are you excited to be a 2-time champ?
You know what? It's exciting, bro. We won 2 years in a row. There is no competition. I want somebody to give me a challenge. Step your game up, bitches.
That's right.
I mean, really.
Man, 2 times, guys. But you know, we're on that road to WrestleMania. Yet again, the road started. We're here. Now we're starting to build up.
Yeah, you're starting to build up with the cliches.
We got the
cliches.
We got the build going. I try to find unique ways to segue to things. So with the build is happening, and guys, we have to talk about this. This is probably the biggest news of the week. No matter who died, who broke their arm, or whatnot. This was like, who's going to be his partner? We're going to find out next week. Who could it be? Could it be Cena? Could it be The Undertaker? Could it be whoever, right? And it's almost like Kurt's reaction is that like they told him, like, listen, you got to get over there. You got to get out there. You got to put this over. And he failed. Like, he knew, like, the fans were going to like it. It just let the air out of the room. Cooter, was this the most underwhelming surprise of the year?
Oh boy, let me tell you something. The look on Kurt's face, and it was even being foreshadowed that it was going to be a flop, because you could just tell, even before he said the name, that he didn't like it. I feel really, really bad. And when he said the name, Baron Corbin, I went, huh? What? That I really, really want to face Baron. I mean, does it make sense because they've had the beef for like the last year? Yeah. I mean, you should have had that match. I don't know, like a month or 2 ago.
Yeah.
And then maybe let him have like
or...
a real retirement match. But Baron fucking Corbin is going to be your last match. If I'm Kurt Angle, I cannot wait to hit the Indies. But I don't think he should. I mean, as much as I love Kurt Angle, and I said it last week, he looks really bad. Like, he looks slow. And thank God it was somebody who's athletic, like Chad Gable this week, because I don't see how Baron Corbin is going to make this match look good for Kurt. I really
not for nothing, but this match happened a couple months ago already. Baron Corbin versus Kurt Angle, and Baron Corbin got the win.
Yeah.
I thought that was like it right there. And then we weren't going to see it anymore. And then Angle disappears, comes back, disappears, comes back. And now Corbin's his WrestleMania opponent. I look at it this way. I feel like we're getting trolled. Yeah. I really do. I feel like this isn't the match. I think WB's just trolling us to see the reactions we get. I mean, the best reactions were the second that was announced. You give it 5 minutes, go on Twitter, and it's just like a fucking tsunami just went off. People were going nuts. One of the tweets that stood out to me the most, it's fucking disgusting, but it was hilarious. I couldn't stop laughing. One guy just says, "I'd rather pour salt in my dick hole."
Oh man. What's odd about this is that Michael Cole even brought it up. Like, there was such backlash over it, he had to bring it up like 20 minutes or a half hour later or whenever they brought it back up again. And they'll never fucking say that, people hate the decision. And Michael Cole, that's what brought my attention to it. So he did kind of bring out that the fans are hating it. And man, but what's funny is, like, if you took Baron Corbin and had him like the lone wolf Baron Corbin, not the corporate one, I could have seen this happening if they built it. But now it's like he had a backstage segment where fans the Revival didn't like him, everybody was laughing at him. So I feel like maybe he's going to shed that corporate attire and maybe go back to the lone wolf gimmick, if you will. But man, it's still there's no build up for him, and they haven't built Corbin up to make this like, wow, the final match.
Salt in the dick hole.
I'll tell you, Twitter, Cooter, is probably one of the most entertaining places sometimes when something happens. When something happens that it's going to upset fans, the first thing you have to do is give it a couple minutes and then go to Twitter. And you just see all the dumpster fires happening.
I only did that one time. And it was the episode of The Walking Dead where I knew that Glenn was going to get his head bashed in. All right? And I just could not wait to watch people, like, because I remember when there was, oh God, Maggie's sister got killed, the backlash that I kept hearing about on Twitter.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, man. And I'm thinking, because you're like me, you read the comics, and you're like, I wonder what they're going to do when Glenn finally dies. And I go to Twitter, and this is an exact same type of situation. It's just, what the fuck? It could have been like the Devil's Playground for me,
You bring it up with that backlash, when, me and you read the comics, so we saw Glenn dying. We knew it was happening. Okay. Yes. So when you look at WrestleMania and you look at potential opponents for Kurt Angle, you saw Corbin being one of the guys coming. We saw it coming. It just, people just, couldn't accept it. Like, I'm not mad about it because I saw it coming. It was either going to be Cena or it was going to be Corbin. It was going to be one of those two. It wasn't going to be Taker because Taker can't really move in the ring. Corbin is an athletic dude. As much as people shit on him, that guy is very
he's tall. Yeah.
He's not a bad worker.
Loves the big guys.
He's made leaps and bounds since his NXT days, for real.
But I think Cena would be the type of guy that can actually work at Angle's pace, and work slow with him. I really do think that this is a troll job. We're all being trolled. I really do think, and the WWE is gonna fuck with us all the way to WrestleMania, to a point where, like, Corbin's gonna come out and he's gonna stand on stage and Cena's gonna take him out, and just be like, "This is not how you're going out, Kurt." Like, we're going into WrestleMania thinking it's gonna be Corbin, and then Cena's coming out and saving the day.
Man,
I would actually love it if it was Elias who fucking just walked out behind Corbin and hit him with a guitar or something, because they kind of had the beef for a little bit there.
Yeah, but they won't go there because Elias is
not
full-on heel mode.
Oh man, but the crowd definitely went meh this week because, we could be getting trolled and whatnot, but it's fun to talk about. But if this, like, at the end of the day, because I remember we were talking earlier before the show happened, WrestleMania 29, I was like, I loved, like, the CM Punk Undertaker match, but everything else, I was like, it's not that. When you look at the card on now, it wasn't that good of a card. And, like, I'm looking at this Mania coming up, and it's a great card except for this match, and I'm like, now I have the opportunity to use the bathroom during, because I'm not invested. I'm not invested with Baron Corbin.
God, I don't even off the top of my head, the match.
Retirement match.
You're going to be in the bathroom. You're going to be in the bathroom pissing. And as you're pissing, you're going to hear John Cena's music going off. You're going to miss that. You're going to be running with your dick in your hand back to your seat.
I don't know what the fuck you're laughing at. When John Cena's coming out, you're not going to be able to see it, motherfucker, from where you're sitting. So what the hell?
You literally can't see him.
I'll be able to see, like, from, like, halfway point to the ring.
# behind the stage.
Oh man, bring binoculars, guys.
I gotta tweet the picture. I sent it to you guys. I gotta put it on Twitter. I found a picture of someone sitting in my section for WrestleMania 29, and the Empire State Building was like right in the way. It was really shitty seats. I don't know why the WB. I mean, I know why the WB puts those seats out for sale, because they want to get that fuck money, and they know they're gonna sell to the cheap bastards. Me, I wasn't cheap. I was trying to go as expensive as possible, but the fucking virtual waiting room fucked me over. Story for the day, though.
Man, well, you know what was
I
great?
digress.
What was great though, getting off that topic, it was definitely Chad Gable, because they didn't say anything about his tag team. I honestly didn't hear anything. Maybe they did, but I was like, I didn't hear anything about Rude or his tag team. Like, he came out as his old gimmick with the fucking towel, and I was like, keep this. This is it. What's funny and ironic about this is that these two have never wrestled. These two should have been fucking father and son, and then that's where they could have had their Mania match. Because I would not be complaining right now if they said Chad Gable is going to be my WrestleMania opponent. I'd be like, great, I want to see this. So, like Raw would have been my Mania match for Angle. It's the resemblance. You're still thinking that the dick hole salt?
No. I'm just thinking Kurt Angle versus the sleeper pick, Chad Gable. The sleeper pick, ladies and gentlemen. I can't wait for next year's fucking was it the shake-up? Because I want to know who your sleeper pick's going to be this year, Mike Colon.
Fuck you.
So I can troll you all year again. That was great.
You can troll me all you want, but you know how good of an athlete that dude is.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
And it's not his fault. He fell
once
into
every
the
3
rabbit
months
hole.
I saw him on television. It was great, dude.
Once every 3 months.
Kurt Angle's character, though, if you think about it, is a good character that you could kind of repeat if the guy ever comes along. And what I mean by that is that, college athlete or Olympic medalist or whatever, and now he's a wrestler, but, coming in as like a silly, like how Kurt Angle came in and then building up that college wrestler type person. And Chad Gable, man, it's perfect. Like, why'd they change it? He doesn't have to win the world championship, keep him mid-card, but...
My biggest takeaway from all this was when I saw Chad Gable come out in full American Alpha gear, singlet, American Alpha music. After I reacted I was like, this is awesome. And then my second reaction was, that means Bobby Roode is single and he's going to be a heel. That's the first thing that came to my mind.
That's good.
Because, I mean, granted, this could have been a one-night deal, but I was just, in my mind, I was just like, oh, man, if they just let Bobby Roode go and be the heel that he was down at NXT, he would take Raw to another level, man. He really would.
Definitely change up a little bit.
Same with Kevin Owens. I mean, if they just let Kevin Owens be Kevin Owens.
Exactly.
I don't know why and that's the thing. Ever since I haven't really seen him on SmackDown, really.
He was on this week.
I don't know, but it wasn't like, it didn't seem like he was in like a big role. He was just in the title match.
On SmackDown? He was
to me,
in the
it
title
was just match. No. I mean, from the last pay-per-view. I'm saying it's like, I get it. You're not going to be at the top of every goddamn card, but for somebody who was just in the title picture, at least to me, it didn't seem like he had a very prominent spot, and that's just kind of weird to me. So you brought him back at the top of a card, and now what is he doing for Mania?
Yeah.
He's going to be in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, giving people stunners. Cool, bro. Fuck.
But
my sleeper pick for next year.
My goodness, Chad Gable. But I was definitely a fan of what I saw there, and I was like, this is all you needed to do. You never needed to change them. Anyway, how about MIA people? Is that people? I keep seeing some rumblings on the interwebs about like EC3. Like they had the vignettes. He was the only person coming out of NXT who actually had his own little mini video about who he is, and then he beat Dean Ambrose on Raw, and then we forgot about him. Like he went to a tag match or something, and then that was it. And then what happened with that whole call up? What went wrong?
Did you see what his response to WWE on Twitter?
No.
So I guess I think on Twitter, WWE fucking wished him a happy birthday, and he said, "Yeah, gee, thanks. Catering was great." something along those lines, and I'm just like, "Oh shit." He's not happy. You can tell.
I wouldn't be happy either. I mean, this guy was tailor-bred, made for the main roster with that character, and then I mean, now he's just in the background of everything. I mean, if you watch SmackDown and you see the wrestlers backstage watching the TV, watching Kofi's match, he's standing behind somebody. You'd easily pick him out because the funny thing, he's not even staring at the TV. He's just staring at the back of someone's head, which I thought was hilarious.
You know what's funny about it to me? I don't think somebody hates him. I don't think he really. I mean, he had a great comeback when he got to NXT. You know, they didn't really do much with him in NXT. And he's not the greatest worker. Let's be honest. He has a good look. He cuts a halfway decent promo. You know, he's got the right fucking type of gimmick. But he's the drizzling shits in the ring. I don't give a fuck. And I think if you watch the match, rewatch it. Rewatch the match between him and Dean Ambrose. Yeah, did he get the win? Of course. I mean, they told him he was going to win. But at the same time, it really wasn't that good of an outing against somebody like Dean Ambrose, who I feel like can have a really good match with just about anybody.
So you're saying his first impressions threw people off maybe to use him?
I think so.
Everything you just said, Cooter, that, you know, he has that look, but he's not that good in the ring, that's a Vince McMahon guy right there. That's the type of guy. Vince loves those big, sweaty men. He loves that.
I think see, you say something like that, but Vince in the past has been very good at. All right, I'll give you an example. Dave Bautista, not the best worker in the ring, but had a good look, had a decent character, and could do some stuff that was impressive. A few things. So Vince is the kind of guy who is very good at, you know, kind of hiding the negatives, accentuating the positives, and there are some positives to somebody like Batista. There are some positives nowadays to somebody like a Brock Lesnar. You know, he's not anymore the greatest worker. It's not like his first run, but there's stuff that they can use him on TV as. EC3 is not that kind of person. I don't even think your fucking guy can do a wrist lock, for Christ's sake. He's fucking terrible.
I don't think he's terrible. I don't think he's the greatest, but I don't think he's terrible. I think they need to figure out plans after Mania for him.
Yeah.
It's too late now. Just ride it out until the new season. You know, when you bring up Batista and how they protected him in Evolution, why don't you just create a new stable? Get some guys together and just start something from there and see if it builds up into something. I mean, that's the only thing that I could think of right now is something like that. I mean, I personally can't think of anything for EC3.
Mm-hmm.
So.
He'd be perfect for like somebody like the Miz, you know what I mean? Like a stable of like the rich guys or the movie stars, or like, you know, like a Dolph Ziggler too, maybe like a good little stable. I don't know, cocky rich guys or something. Not a good
looks
name.
like that could be a potential sleeper pick for Mike Cologne next year, right, Mike?
What?
EC3.
Nah, that joke's no.
Okay. Just check.
Well, you know, speaking of a little end of an era, but the WWE is moving their headquarters, guys, to a new office building. They're selling Titan Towers. They've been there for over like 26 years or something? 16? I didn't even look at it. Anyway, it's a long time. They've been there a very long time. Gone, though, guys. They're getting a new building down the street in Stamford. Are you going to miss it? Are you going to care? Doesn't matter.
I don't fucking care. They got a fucking state-of-the-art fucking Disney World they're moving into. You see those pictures? Jesus Christ.
It's huge. We got the Hall of Fame there.
Are they bringing in their Japanese headquarters or whatever in there?
There's a picture of like the floor, what it used to look like for
stock exchange.
Yeah, like that whole fucking floor could be like a casino or a WWE physical Hall of Fame in Stamford. They could fucking make a whole freaking floor of something down there. But you know what? I loved seeing that though as a kid. I love seeing Titan Towers. I love passing by it. Like that's the WWE, being so close to it.
That's true.
Even the whole Super Bowl commercials I loved. I thought that was, you know, you probably look back out and now they're cheesy, but that was such a big deal at the time, and like using the actual office in Stanford. I don't know. I loved it. I loved seeing the headquarters.
God, I remember when you, me, and I think it was JB went to go take pictures out over there.
Yes.
So you're cutting some video right in front
Keith
of
Appercarry, yeah. We were,
Yes! That was the open up thing, right?
We have the video. I gotta play it. It was in the music video.
Oh, fucking funny, dude.
Man, I wish I had a better
but
camera.
yeah, but again, and I also remember, God, we drove down to Stanford to take my grandfather to this Italian restaurant for his birthday, and that was around the time where they did the whole, excuse me, DX fucking painting the building. So I remember driving by Titan Tower, and they had the big giant green DX spray painted or whatever it was on the building. So I had pictures of that. So that was cool. But yeah, I know what you mean. Just driving by that on a regular basis was pretty cool, man.
Yeah, goodbye headquarters, though. Guys, we're talking about some build-ups. I mean, the next few shows, it's all Mania and everything else happening that weekend. But this story with the whole Kofi Kingston thing it's good. This is good TV. I'm not saying it's fake or it's real, but I think the first time I think they're actually using kind of like racism in WWE, like holding the man down because of his color. And
oh god,
hold on, but it's almost like the Divas Evolution, to where they didn't they treat the women like they didn't have anything. Now they're the women's champion, they're not the Divas champion. But now,
God,
are you not liking the build up? You hate the Kofi Kingston story?
God. Listen. To me, if you were gonna put the belt on Kofi, they should have made it a big-ass surprise when you saw how the crowd got behind him at the Chamber. Now you're just dragging it out. Now, it's fucked up because if they had done that, guys like Mike or you probably would have said, well, why couldn't they just wait till Mania, and the WWE likes to blow their load.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
Okay? So in this case, I just don't care. And the build up to it is just so annoying to me. It's like when you take a shit, right?
Oh,
and then when you're done taking a shit, you look down and there's corn in it. It's fucking pointless.
I think you're the only person.
I don't care.
You're the only person that it does not care.
I don't care.
So angry.
And you know what's sad is
person.
listen, no. Kofi has been putting on some of the best matches of his career the last few weeks. He has been incredible. But to me, as a character, like, was I rooting for him a month ago? Yeah, but he's not somebody that I see that is going to carry that torch in a long-term situation. It was great to see him in that spot and potentially be in the spot for WrestleMania. But you really see him as a long-term solution as a champion on any fucking brand.
2 words. Jinder Mahal. Nobody's thought he would have held it for
and
like
look
2
how
weeks.
good that worked out, Credo.
I think Kofi would be better.
But nobody
Yeah,
thought
listen,
it'd be more.
I really like this story. I really do. It comes off real. It really does. I'm fully invested into this. I haven't really been this invested into a match as I was on Tuesday night for that gauntlet. It was just something about it. I was just so into it. And then when they came out with that swerve at the end, it just kind of like was, I don't know, just the way it came off, it was good. And then with the promo, I mean, they had a promo backstage that ended up on WWE.com where how they're telling Kofi that he might just want to just quit and go home. Like the New Day's just kind of discussing that and saying if you're in love with something but something's not in love with you, maybe it's a relationship you shouldn't be a part of. It just, everything that came off about that, it just came off so real. And then Big E, his video on there when he talks about like people like us, like, yeah, you can take it as a racial thing. You can go that route, but did they really say it? No, they didn't. They didn't say it like that. It could be people like us, meaning like the mid-carders, like, we only have a certain ceiling tag teams like us can get to, and they're not going to allow us to get any further. I mean, it can go either way. I personally didn't take it as a racial thing. I know a lot of people are. But this storyline, to me, it just seems real, and I'm actually fully invested into it, and I want to see Kofi win.
And now, Cooter, you said you didn't like, how I guess, anything about it. But
No. Listen, I'll tell you what I didn't like about it. Because you sit there and you're saying that, it's racial. They didn't say it. You're right. They did not come out and say it. But it is implied.
implied racism.
They're trying to imply, it's implied that way. And to me, like, it just seems like in this day and age, politics and racism and all that shit has found its way into all sorts of everything. And to me, I'm kind of tired of it. Like, I turn on TV because I want to be entertained, not be reminded what's going on in the real world.
Escape from reality, yeah.
Yes, this is supposed to be my escape from reality, and now reality is in my virtual reality.
What doesn't bother me, though, about this is that it was organic to, like, the whole Mustafa Ali, got injured, couldn't be in that match, so they put in Kofi. Nobody, I don't think, would have guessed the kind of reaction he was going to get alone just for him in that match, right? I mean, it kind of, maybe they posted some stuff on Twitter like that he was headed. It got built up online maybe by some fans, but just being there that night, it was like one of those things that caught you by surprise as a wrestling fan, because it wasn't like, the obvious. All of a sudden, we're cheering for Kofi, and it's like, yeah, he's been there for 11 years. I never hated him, but I never thought like people would get behind him like this to get pushed into the main event of WrestleMania. It's definitely something that only WrestleMania, I think, can bring about every year, that organicness, like the Daniel Bryan thing, to where the whole Yes movement was kind of organic with people online complaining. I think, there's a lot of complaining online, but at the same time, I guess if you complain enough with enough people, they'll change the damn storylines. I don't know, but it was definitely a nice organic thing. It wasn't It was a surprise, but it wasn't. I don't know. I think it's better than Jinder Mahal. That's what I'm trying to get to.
I want to see how they're gonna book themselves. Because after Tuesday night on SmackDown, which I thought SmackDown was amazing. That match was great. That gauntlet match. I just want to see how they're going to figure Kofi into the main event. And if they're going to do it, they got to do it soon. I mean, there's so many, people are talking about so many ways that, they can get Kofi in that match. I mean, we've seen the whole Occupy Raw thing with Daniel Bryan. Do they try to pull that off with Kofi? Probably. They'd like to recycle storylines. But I'm just intrigued to see what's next for the Kofi Kingston story.
Yeah.
I think the only way you can really get him out, honestly, I think if they're gonna book this match for Mania, which they obviously are, who do you have go up against Daniel Bryan? You have them all quit. All right, well, we're gonna have Kevin Owens, and Kevin Owens say, no, I don't want the title shot. It belongs to somebody else who's earned it. Like, you go down a list of guys, and they all, no, don't want that match. Nope, don't want that match. No, it belongs to somebody else. I think, to me, from my perspective, because I hate it, I do. Like, that might work for me. But honestly, it's like, if you put him in this match, do you have him win? And how long is he holding that belt for? Because, like, he's not. It's Kofi Kingston, bro.
But Jinder Mahal was like, what, 6 months? He held it for a while, right? It was like something, I want to say 6 months at least.
May till November.
Yeah, so, this brings a good question, to where when you look at the WWE Championship and the Universal Championship, which one's the more prestigious or the biggest one in your mind? Do you think the original WWE Championship is greater than the Universal, or vice versa?
WWE Championship, to me, is definitely better.
I think, as us, maybe little kids might say Universal, who knows? Maybe that's why Vince just wants Brock to hold on to it, kind of a thing, to where it's like a big name held it, kind of a thing. But at the end of the day, if you put him on the wall, I'm putting that WWE Championship. If we're gonna map out this mob family, the WWE Champion is the number one out of all of them, right? And second would be Universal. So come to look at it, after WrestleMania 35, you could have a Seth Rollins Universal Champion and a Kofi Kingston WWE Champion. Kofi better than Seth? Or I don't know. I just wanted to get the whole point of the whole which title's better than the other.
Can we talk about something that happened on Raw real quick that I really liked, that I know a lot of people are going to shit on just because of the person? But am I the only person in this conversation right now that really liked all the segments with Ronda and Travis Brown.
Oh, I loved it.
I loved
it.
every second of it. That they did a great job just showing us how beastly Ronda is and how much of a threat she is to the two other opponents. And just Travis Brown in general was just a great placement. It was just whoever booked those segments, whoever produced it was just perfect. I loved every second of it. And for a storyline that on social media is hot and it's burning and it's crazy, and then on TV it just doesn't translate as well, to do something like that where you don't have Becky or Charlotte on Raw and you let Ronda go out there and just be the badass that she is, and then you get her husband Travis involved, I thought it was brilliant.
Ooh,
Good working punch, too, I got to say, bro.
It was a very good working punch, actually.
I was like, wow, he's very impressive. And he's a big dude. I mean, I could see him in the women's division. He's hit some women before, right?
But it's funny. It's like, in all realness, it's like it comes off real to me because, Ronda is, she's been going postal lately in kayfabe, and the only person that could probably control her and know what she's thinking is her own husband, Travis Brown.
Is he still under contract?
Ronda?
The UFC?
Oh,
Travis
Brown?
Or did he retire?
No, he definitely never announced a retirement. I know his last fight at UFC 213, July 8th, 2017. Travis Brown had a 4-fight losing streak.
Did he get cut?
So he had to have gotten cut.
Yeah.
I mean, he lost to some
Scrubs.
No, it wasn't Scrubs. He definitely didn't lose to Scrubs. Cain Velasquez, Fabricio Verdum, Derek Lewis, Alex Chiquier. I can't even pronounce that name.
Well, the point I'm trying to make is I'm wondering if she sticks around, do they offer him a deal?
I mean, I think that's...
What about the whole four horsewomen thing? I thought they were going to do that at one point. Maybe if that goes all the way towards Survivor Series, she stays that long.
Well, I have a feeling. I have a feeling Shayna comes up after Mania, because I think she's dropping that belt. I think she's ready. She's an impressive. To me, since they've both been in the company, I think Shayna Baszler as a pro wrestler has done better than fucking Ronda Rousey.
All right, freeze.
Stop.
Can we rewind a year ago?
Listen, you're right. You're right. You're right. I'm not going to dispute what I said.
Okay.
I said she was the drizzling shits.
Oh, I still agree,
was wrong. She was the drizzling shits in that tournament, and I thought she was going to be a flop. I also said Ronda was going to be a flop. I did. I was wrong.
Okay.
I will admit it.
And I remember the one thing I said is that because of and I come from the MMA world, so I understand it's where an MMA athlete, if you can adapt to mixed martial arts, you can get down professional wrestling with the right training. And I knew that with the right training, with the help of the performance center, being there every day, she would get good. And today, I mean, we're praising her. You don't
disagree with me. You don't think that she's been better in ring than Ronda?
In ring than Ronda, yes.
There we go. That's what I'm saying. So a year ago, I was probably more than a year ago, because that first Mae Young Classic was 2 years ago.
2 years ago. Now. And that's not discrediting Ronda, because Ronda's great. No,
she's great.
I think Shayna Baszler takes it over Ronda. But Ronda has the name power. That's
so Credo, I think the point to make is, I think if she comes up after Mania, and then you still have Marina Shafir and Jessamine Duke down there, they're still pretty green. But I think if you give them enough time, they can make it up by November even if it's just for a call up, just for the 4 horsewomen match, and then go back to NXT.
Yeah, I mean, you can even, because the women's tag titles can go to NXT, SmackDown, and Raw, so it'd be kind of cool if the girls down there get the tag titles.
Not a bad idea. Yeah.
And then you could have one of the Shayna or Ronda as the women's champ for Anyway, we're on that road to WrestleMania now, guys.
Speaking here we go again.
Well, we're back into some confirmed matches. We're gonna talk a little bit NXT too, but some things happened this week that it's been made official. We already said Baron Corbin, as of now, has been added to the match, the farewell match of Kurt Angle. Braun Strowman just kind of said, "Hey, I'm entering the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal too." So they didn't say anything about Saturday Night Live. We thought we were going to get like a parody match or something out of it, but maybe they'll be in the Rumble. They're going to be in the Rumble.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I guarantee you they're going to be in the Rumble.
We'll see what happens with that. But I was surprised, and I feel like this was out of nowhere. Samoa Joe versus Rey Mysterio. I'm not mad. I think it's going to be a good match, but I feel like it's just, what did you do to earn this kind of a thing? You know what I mean? Like, all of a sudden it's just, okay, you're in the U.S. title match. I feel like there was no, I don't know. I was hoping for maybe like, I don't know. I thought like Rey Mysterio Andrade was going to be a better kind of a matchup, but it just seemed like out of nowhere. RKO.
What happened, Mike? What happened?
I know exactly what happened. Vince saw Ray walking around with this 7-foot kid. It's like, oh, god damn. That is definitely not his kid. I mean, walking around with this kid, paying fucking child support. Child is not even his. No fans, baby. Give him a U.S. title match. Just get him out of here. Yeah.
Either that or it was more like, god damn, pal. Once Ray got back, he was in the best shape I've ever seen in his career. Now he's wearing tights, and on top of that, his Borat bikini to hold in that fucking big gut of his. Oh goddamn, U.S. title, perfect.
No, I think they felt more bad for him walking around with a 7-foot son.
7-foot son. It was just out of nowhere, you know.
It's huge.
It was like they in one promo they introduced his son, booked the match for Mania, and it was just like, wait, what? This is what's happening. Like they're not gonna #1 contender kind of a thing. At least have another match because you still got 2 weeks. They just wanted to throw it out there. Samoa Joe, Rey Mysterio, and is Rey gonna lose in front of his kid? Is this just another title change?
Man. If I can get like, you know, because Ray just brought his son to work, this 7-foot kid, and he got a fucking title match. Like, I'm just gonna adopt like a 7-foot kid or 7-foot dude.
Is this the same kid that was in the fucking Eddie Guerrero storyline?
Yep. I'm gonna bring a 7-foot kid to work and try to get a raise.
Oh damn! Maybe Eddie was his poppy.
Fucking Rey Mysterio. Oh, well, that's added to the WrestleMania event, if you will. Another surprise. Tony Nese, guys, to where I feel like they're not doing anything with him. He was kind of pushed away, and now he's finally going to have a WrestleMania match. Whether it's the pre-show or actual show is to be determined, but Buddy Murphy versus Tony Nese now. This guy was incredible, though. I mean, I don't know if you remember. I remember seeing him at the Civic Center for House of Hardcore, one of the first shows, the first or third or something like that. And I was like, this guy's got it. You know, he's going to get signed by something. He got signed by WWE not too long after, but I feel like they don't know what to do with him, and he's a pretty incredible athlete, you know, the premier athlete, right? Is it a shame that it's taken him so long to like give him this kind of a match?
What the fuck are you laughing at over there?
I'm sorry. That's back to Rey Mysterio's son. I don't know why. You guys ever see Benchwarmers? You know, the guy, I am 12, with the fucking birth certificate written in fucking crayon. I don't know why that popped in my head. I am 12. I'm sorry. I think of the dumbest shit, and even though it's not funny to most people, to me, I fucking laugh so hard. Go on.
Tony Nese.
Tony Nese, 8-pack.
Salt in the dick.
Predator.
That's a t-shirt idea now. Salt in the dick hole.
Oh boy. Okay. All right. Tony Nese, Credo.
Tony Nese. Any thoughts on could the Cruiserweight Championship be won by Tony Nese or is Buddy Murphy? I feel like a lot of these championship matches are going to be lost, switching hands that night. I feel like Buddy Murphy's had it for how long now? You could give it up to Tony Nese, but...
See, I don't know how I feel about this match. I really don't. I mean, last year we had a great cruiserweight title match with Cedric Alexander versus Mustafa Ali, and you guys remember that promo that Mustafa Ali cut leading up to Mania about the heart and soul, which was probably still to this day one of my favorite promos. We're not going to get anything like that to kind of like, you know, make that title match stand out. And I could be wrong. I mean, maybe one of these guys can, dig deep and cut a good promo to get people invested. But I don't know. It just doesn't really do anything for me, to be honest with you. And this isn't discrediting any of those guys, because Buddy Murphy has been an incredible cruiserweight champion, in my opinion. Tony Nese, incredible athlete. I don't know, man. I just don't see Tony Nese as the guy. I really don't.
Unfortunately, there really is no other guys in 205 Live. I mean, I said it last week. It used to be a show I watched on a regular basis. I have lost so much faith in that product just because I feel like since that inception, we really haven't gotten too many new names. I mean, we have a lot of the original guys who were the leftovers from the Cruiserweight Classic. Some of the guys that used to be on that show, you told me last week, are in NXT UK. Mm-hmm. I mean, TJ Perkins, who was starting to gain some traction, at least in my mind, with a change in character, is cut. We haven't seen anybody new. There has to be a reason for me to watch. And Brian Kendrick shaving off his goatee and looking like Spanky again just isn't fucking doing it for me. So it's just, yeah.
Do we need a show anymore? Could they just move the cruiserweights on? Do you think it'd be better if they just blended them into Raw and SmackDown to where every so often you have a cruiserweight match, right? And then the cruiserweights don't always have to wrestle the cruiserweights. The champion at least too, but I feel like if you took the show away and just kind of blended them into SmackDown and Raw, of having at least one cruiserweight match a night, I'd be fine with that. Like, I don't need to be invested in a whole other world of cruiserweights. I feel like they could just be added to the roster as a different division, and you could see a cruiserweight match every now and then. I don't know.
I feel like this. I feel that if you watch 205 Live, because I'll turn it on just to see. It's terrible because it's dark, and they dark it up as much as they can because everybody's leaving SmackDown. Like, there's no crowd watching this fucking show. They'll move people from the fucking cheap seats who want to sit ringside and put them camera side because the rest of that arena is fucking empty. It's so sad. And it boggles the mind because some of these athletes are probably some of the best wrestlers, or at least a year ago, I could honestly say that. Now, I don't even know who's left.
205 Live was good when they were pre-taping it before SmackDown, because they got the crowd that were coming in, that had a lot of energy. They were excited to be there because they were just happy for SmackDown. And the crowd, you could just see the energy in the crowd. You put them on after. First of all, you have, I believe they tape Main Event or Superstars before SmackDown. And then you have SmackDown. And then you have 205 Live. And you're forcing majority of these people to stay because you're advertising a dark match after 205 Live just to keep them there. It's it's not like a Raw long night, and it's definitely not like a WrestleMania long 3 weeks, but it's a long night for a lot of these casual fans, and it sucks because
that's longer than Raw, Mike.
No, it's not.
How long is the night of Raw? 3+ hours. It's like three and a half.
They get in there, they film Main Event, and then they're on at 8:00, and they're up on until 11, and they usually have dark segments once they go off the air.
All right, so it's about the same then.
No, you might be right because they do film 205 Live. So no, you are probably right with that.
That's a long night. That's as long as the night is pay-per-view, Credo.
No.
Unless it's WrestleMania.
Yep. Well, on the side of WrestleMania, we're almost there. Just to talk briefly, real quick, about some of what's happening for TakeOver for NXT, to where the matches have been announced. These matches, the 2 out of 3 falls match for the vacant NXT Championship, Johnny Gargano versus Adam Cole. Guys, out of this match, real quick.
Yeah, Credo, you could talk about it now.
I know, right? So this is the big to go back a few weeks. I've been waiting weeks for this, guys. I had a.
I'll tell you something. That Fatal 5-Way match was amazing. Match of the week. Just everybody involved in that match was incredible. Mauro Ranallo just proves why he's one of the best in the business, because he just helps sell every single minute of that match. It was just incredible. I loved it from beginning to end. I wished I didn't know who won, but it was still a good match. Even though Credo spoiled it for me, it didn't take away from the match.
Oh, thank goodness.
No, not at all. And I think those two can put on an amazing match, and I'm kind of glad to see Cole was in that match, because he really had no direction for a match. It seemed like you had Velveteen Dream and fuck is his goddamn name? The Ultimate Bro there, fucking
Matt Riddle.
So that looked like it was slated. You had the women's title pretty much all wrapped up with. It's gonna be a fatal 4-way.
Yep.
And so you knew that, and it's like, well, where did anybody who is is Undisputed Era still in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Tournament?
No, they have the finals this week.
And who's in
that? Ricochet and Aleister Black versus the Forgotten Sons.
That's weird.
You know what? I actually like the Forgotten Sons. They're starting to grow on me. I really do like that group. It's something about them. Just like it's starting to stand out for me, and I think after Takeover, after Mania, they could probably do big things with them on the NXT roster.
Yeah, I'm just worried about a lot of the guys in an Undisputed Era. What about Roddy? Like, this was somebody who was constantly, in the tag team division with fucking, and now what's he doing?
He's, what? He's in a better place now than what he was before. Before Undisputed Era. I think you can go back to Red Dragon being a tag team, and then you can have Roddy chase after the North American title.
I think my point is, how much longer do we keep? I think all of these guys are poised to go to the main roster. I think those are. I hope not. I hope not, but I think so. I think it's happening.
No, if Adam Cole wins the NXT title, he's not going anytime soon.
I don't think it's happening, bro. I think they've been meaning to put that belt on fucking Johnny Gargano, because that was going to be the climax of him and fucking Ciampa.
But what do you do after that?
What do you do after what?
After you put the belt on Gargano, where do you go from there?
I'm not the fucking booker, bro. I'm just saying.
I'm asking you. Like I'm asking for your opinion. Like, where do you go? Like, what do you do with Johnny Gargano? This isn't knocking Johnny Gargano. He's been going after that title for 2+ years now. I think you put that title on a guy like Adam Cole, it could take it to another level. I like babyfaces chasing, and I like the heels as champions, and I think Adam Cole could take the NXT brand to another level, just like Ciampa did when he had Goldie.
I think you could go Velveteen Dream. I think they could do a good program, because Velveteen has that win over Gargano for the North American title, and he's going to hand that off to fucking Matt Riddle.
I think it would fit perfect with Velveteen Dream, to where you have him as the North American champion and the NXT champion, something to kind of like, I think the most recent one was Seth Rollins, who did it with his championships at that time or whatever, to it was the United States, or he was the IC champion
United States. Yeah. United States. But allegedly, from the most famous sources in the world, the interwebs, once WrestleMania is over, Velveteen Dream is going up. So, and you know what? I am terrified.
But that. Where's EC3 gonna go? Where's EC3? EC3's right there. We don't even know what to do with him.
He's hanging out with Zack Ryder.
Out of anything too, real quick, out of NXT happening, which we'll have a WrestleMania special. We'll be at WrestleMania, but one of the matches I'm kind of curious about is the Pete Dunne versus Walter match for the UK Championship, to where They're getting a little spotlight for the UK Championship, but Pete Dunne, man, how many years has he had the UK Championship by now? Do we get it off of him? Do we get it off him or no? Keep it on him?
I don't know. That's tough, man. It really is, because you brought in Walter, who's this badass, and then you got Pete Dunne, who's also a badass. This match, in my opinion, is going to be one of the best matches on that card. For those people who don't know who Walter is, YouTube him, please. I'm going to say this every time because Walter is one of those guys that not many people know, but when you do know and when you do watch it, you will know. And we all know how great Pete Dunne is. It's just this match, right? It just has match of the night written all over it.
You know what? It could be the match of the weekend, bro. It really could.
Probably could. It has the potential.
Do you think NXT can live up to the 17-match WrestleMania?
I think it'll blow it out of the water, dude. There's just no.
It's always the perfect timing.
Way, dude.
I know. It's always like the perfect amount a show should be, and then WWE's got to be like, fucking hold my beer. I'm gonna make it fucking 17 matches. Like, I hope that doesn't ruin it because I'm excited. We're still excited. We're gonna be there. I'm excited for WrestleMania, but at the same time, I said it I think last show too, where I sat down every match at WrestleMania 29 and I watched it. I soaked it in. It was my first WrestleMania. I lived it. I wanted to see the sea of people. But now, how many matches was WrestleMania 29? Does anybody know? But to have 17 now, that's a long time. It says 5:30. I don't know.
I think I might be wrong, but I think WrestleMania 29 was like one of the last WrestleManias that were like 3 hours.
Oof.
Yeah, because that was a pretty. God, I couldn't even tell you half the matches. I mean, you had Cena, Rock, Taker, Punk. I remember
Triple H,
Christ.
Brock. Triple H had Shawn and Paul Heyman in his corner. Cena defeated The Rock, right?
Team Hell No defended the tag titles against I think Ziggler and Big E. I remember that match.
Yep, and then you had fucking what's his name? Alberto Del Rio versus
Jack
fucking Swagger, right?
Who's arrested not too long before that for
I never understood that matchup, but that's neither here nor there.
But
yeah, really.
Man,
I couldn't even tell you. Oh yes, Miz and who's that guy from
Wade Barrett?
Yes, Bad News Barrett.
That was
on the pre-show, and that's when it started raining.
Yeah, and that was one of those. That was the time where there was no network. There really was no pre-show. That match was just simply for the public that were there. We didn't get anything because I didn't go, so I didn't get to see that match. But from what I heard, it was probably best I didn't see that match. WrestleMania, guys. It's 17 matches.
Well, wait, guess how many? I'm counting them right now. Both of you, real quick. Guess how many WrestleMania 29 was really quick before we go.
I'm going to probably say 14.
What do you say, Mike?
I'm going to say, 13.
Okay, it was 9 including the pre-show. 9?
Wow.
Gosh.
So the pre-show was The Miz and Wade Barrett, and then okay, here's this. It was 8 because Tons of Funk and the Funkadactyls versus Team Road Scholars and the Bella Twins got cut. So I was just counting them in order, and I'm looking at it right now. So that's a match that was cut. So 8 matches including the pre-show. And now they're going to do like 10 more matches. There's going to be squashes here and there, but man, they're going to have to figure out that time.
Your ass is going to be sore.
Ugh, they're going to lose like...
Credo, listen, I don't know if you haven't gone to a wrestling show with Steve Credo, this motherfucker does not leave his chair ever.
Soak it in.
He has to see everything. And I'm a guy, I'm going to go mingle with some fans, talk some shit. Get some fucking beers. I might disappear for like 2 hours because I go on like, food binges. How many hot dogs did I have at the Danbury Wrestling Show before the fucking when we met Ric Flair? He's like, "You're eating again?" I must have had like 12 hot dogs. I'm like, "Dude, I'm hungry." He's yelling at me, but meanwhile, I'm like, "Dude, you're sitting here. Why? Because you want to see Spike Dudley? The fuck, bro? Get your ass out of the seat.
Maybe we'll have to record our adventures in between matches. Or which match do we actually take a piss for this year? For 17... Wow, I can't believe, because I sat down for a while, and that was only 8 matches now, and my mind's blown that they're going to fit fucking 9 other matches on top of that to make 17. So, guys, we're almost there. The build-up has begun, I guess. AnotherWrestlingPodcast.com. Follow it, like us, subscribe.
Don't tug your peckers.
Listen, repeat, listen, repeat. Just keep doing that in that order.
Don't tug your peckers.
That's right. Yeah, and you can follow me on Instagram at AngryCooter, bitches.
At A Wrestling Podcast, at A Wrestling Pod Twitter. Follow us, like us, subscribe. We'll follow you back.
Yeah, get that sleeper pick going there, Mike Cologne. Oh my God, Ronnie.
Oh, fucking asshole.
Today's show is brought to you by
Mania Crawl is an annual event that coincides with the biggest pro wrestling show of the year. WrestleMania, bitches! Mania Crawl brings hundreds of wrestling fans from around the world together for one incredible bar crawl. The event is 100% free, for the fans, by the fans, and with one goal, raising money for Connor's Cure. This year, the event will be held in Hoboken, New Jersey, just 15 minutes away from MetLife Stadium. Mania Crawl will also offer a VIP package that includes a Mania Crawl shirt, koozie, and bus transportation to MetLife Stadium. So when you're all fucked up and you can't fucking drive there, they're gonna get you there, bitches. But act quickly, as there's only 55 VIP tickets available for purchase. You can also purchase your Mania Crawl gear at maniacrawl.com. Stay updated by following @Mania Crawl on Twitter and Instagram. Bitches.